So we've been talking with Andrew Wicks about mission work with youth. And Andrew, a question for you, which is obviously very, very basic, but we sometimes say mission and don't, we are coming at that from different places and don't know what that actually means for each given person. So if you had to give your elevator speech about this, what would you say is your definition of mission work with youth?
I think mission work is the opportunity to do mercy and justice in this world. And when we understand what mercy and justice mean, it might take a little unpacking, but are we meeting the human needs of the people around us? And are we working to ensure that they're met on an ongoing basis? And when we work with youth, we have the opportunity to do that work in really meaningful, hands on ways that allows them to explore how the world works around them. And youth are so interested in knowing and understanding that. It's an important educational engagement that they often are lacking inside the public education system, wherever they go to school. And so when they're given opportunities to ask these real questions about what's the life experience that my neighbor is having, and I mean that neighbor in the Christian context, maybe not the people who live in our neighborhoods, but 3 or 4 miles down the road from my suburban church in the urban centers of Hartford. What is life like for people there? And how can I be relational with them in ways that help me to understand what their human needs are, how they can be met, and then how do we consider long-term care for our neighbors and all of their needs. Certainly urban poverty is not the only context in which our world calls for justice work on the behalf of our faith.
Yeah, and it sounds like what you're saying can kind of come in different packaging, right? Where there's urban work with youth, there's rural work, there's all these different ways of enacting mercy and justice in this world, which is kind of a refreshing way to think about it for the local youth pastor, right? Who is sort of stuck in their or feels stuck in their one context with one way of doing this. That this can actually look very different.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's important for mission work to have both a mercy and a justice component. And oftentimes, our local church settings are really good at the mercy piece, right? Many of our churches are connected to a food pantry, a soup kitchen, maybe a housing shelter. We run giving trees where we're connected with local social services and we provide toys at Christmas time and winter jackets. And those are great mercy projects, but they need to be connected to this broader understanding of the fact that there shouldn't be children that are unloved in this world. In this place where we throw away so much food, no one should go hungry. There are more people with 2 homes than people with no homes in America. How can that be a just outcome? And so, how are we working to move beyond feeding someone today and thinking about how we structure our society as influenced by our faith understanding into a world where those needs are met for lifetimes?
Yeah, so mercy and justice being interconnected, as you shared in the presentation, right? But also, you know, I maybe I'm tell me if I'm getting this right. Justice is almost like the having the 20,000 foot view of being able to see that big picture and that big landscape and say, this there is obviously something wrong with this picture. What can we do to enact some bigger system-wide change and advocate for that, as opposed to or I guess alongside, right, mercy work, which is tending to the immediate, hunger and need in our area.
Yeah, I don't think either one can happen in a bubble. They have to be hand in hand.
Sure.
The mercy work, I think, is an opportunity for people to understand the reality and depth of the challenges that we face as a society and as people. And the justice work is the chance to think about the future that we want to build together. And that's really important to do with youth. And many of our churches that are doing mercy work are doing it specifically, with the urban poor, or with people experiencing poverty in general. And that's really important work. And there are so many ways in which our churches can be doing that in different contexts as well. I know through Incredible Days, we do some work that investigates the experiences of refugees, immigrants, and migrant workers. What is it
Mm.
like to be a person on the move? Or what does creation justice look like? Justice for our environment. Hugely important for young people to consider how we care for all of creation and use the world in sustainable ways that allow future generations to also enjoy it. And we're reaching a point as a society where literally these coming generations may not be able to do that in ways that we historically have as human beings for a million years. So, how do we create shifts today that utilize young people's gifts, skills, talents, passions, connect it to our faith call, our ancient faith call to care for creation, and open it up to justice opportunities where we're not just fixing the world today, but ensuring that it's protected forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.